Shalom Akim, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, doing the work in truth and sincerity. In this video, basically just concerning the herding mentality of you Israelites. And as you can see on the side, I have a couple of pictures. One, herding behavior, the tendency for individuals to follow the sentiment of the majority. And that's basically what we're dealing with you Jakes out there, you Christian Jakes, might I add. And in the other picture, when the herd is all running towards a cliff, the one running in the opposite direction seems crazy, and that's why, we out there preaching the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in truth and sincerity. And the ones that seem crazy is us, but we're preaching the truth. And you don't have the truth, yet you think we're the crazy ones, And of course, this is going to be some more preaching, So we're going to start off with Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, what he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth. For Yahweh hath spoken, I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. So the Lord's people, the children of Israel, don't even consider that they're the children of Israel. And that's you Israelites out there, man. You Negroes, Indians, Latinos, because you have that herding mentality. You follow the majority instead of following the truth. I mean, because you are the children of Israel, whether you like it or not, Those of Negro, Indian, Latino descent, the scattered confusion of faces around the globe. This is Exodus chapter 23, verse 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report, but put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. In other words, don't be in a herding mentality, Don't decline after many to wrest judgment. The majority rules is not the majority rules, In other words, seek out the truth rather than seeking after what the majority does. And you Israelites, that you are notorious for seeking after what the majority does, man. That's why the Lord calls y'all a wicked generation, man. Because you will seek after the majority just so you don't have to follow the truth. This is Isaiah chapter 8, verse 19, getting right to the point. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their God for the living to the dead? Yeah, a people should seek to their God. And you Israelites, our God is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yahweh the Most High's name, and through his son Yahushai, which is the one true God of the universe, the creator of all things, And you Israelites actually get upset about that because it does not include everybody. The Most High, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, is not all inclusive. He only deals with his people, the Israelites. That's the only people that he cares about, is the Israelites. Does not it say in Amos 3:3 that he only loved us and he'll punish us, roughly paraphrasing, But you Israelites, since you heard from Esau that God loves everybody and the majority believes that, you go along with that. instead of studying this thing and finding out that we are teaching the truth. The brothers that's out on the street preaching and prophesying in truth and in sincerity, mainly the men of Great Millstone. And I say mainly the men of Great Millstone because Great Millstone has shown that diligence in preaching the word in truth and sincerity and going out in season and out of season, And I also picked a couple of articles. This one is an article from January 18, 2001, The Black Church in Decline, which I'm only going to read a paragraph of this. It says, yet New Birth Ministry Baptist, with 25,000 members who generously bankroll high living pastors and high-tech services, is also emblematic of what many in the African American community see as profound crisis in Black Christianity, or even the death of the Black church, which the Black church been died, man. What the hell are you holding on to the Black church for? The Black plantation Christianity. That's all the Black church or Black Christianity is plantation Christianity, taught by Esau, the Edomites. It shouldn't be none of you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Indians, or Latinos in Christianity anymore. Not after this truth has been pushed. You shouldn't be in that stuff no more. I mean, it should be an eyesore to you Israelites at this point, because it's been proven to be a falsehood, a straight up falsehood. There's nothing right about it. There's nothing righteous about it. Now, going to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 15th verse. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 15, and I'm gonna read down to the 46, because this right here should prove to you that you are the Israelites. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken to the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, the fruit of thy land, the increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. In other words, when you come in this world, it's going to be hell. When you go out, when you come in this world, you're going to have nothing. When you go out, you'll have nothing. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexations, rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. And that's the number one wickedness. We've forsaken the Lord our God, man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, our power, man. Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave to thee until he have consumed thee from off the land where thou goest to possess it. That's why we have so many diseases in the so-called Black community. Yahweh shall smite thee with consumption, and with the fever, and with the inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting and mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. And Yahweh shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust, and heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. And Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. We scattered amongst the people, man. And when you go against the so-called white man, the number one enemy, don't you go up to him one way and flee 7 ways? Because you can't beat him. The only way to beat the so-called white man is the fear of the Lord, to wait on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Come back to who you are. That's the only way you're going to get any justice. And thy carcass shall be meat upon the fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Yahweh shall smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with scab, and with itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. Yahweh shall smite thee with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Are we not oppressed and spoiled evermore here in America? I mean, everybody, what they call themselves, the new black media. You got the ADOS movement, and there's still no justice. Calling for reparations and all types of stuff, and there's still no justice. And nobody is trying to fight for you. So you just being spoiled and oppressed evermore. Nothing's changed. You still involved in this Christianity. You still got that mentality. Also, all white people ain't bad. Well, if it's a so-called white man that's not bad, most likely he's an Israelite. He's not an Edomite, because the majority of so-called white people are Edomites. And if they ain't that bad, then either it's a Edomite that's good at acting, or it's not an Edomite at all. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. I mean, hey, we farm this land, and it's all Esau's. To this day, you betroth a wife, and another man lie with her. And that's something that Esau did a lot in slavery, but now our women are just hoes. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Hey, the so-called Negroes, Indians, Latinos, the slaves of America, we built America. All the houses that's built, guess who live in them? Edomites. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Hey, and ain't that indicative of what's going on in America today? Don't you want reparations to be restored, to be repaired? But it's not being restored unto you. Why? Because our reparations come from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. He's the one who's going to heal us. And you can ask for all amount of reparations you want from Esau, you're not going to get it. You ain't never going to get it. Because Esau ain't about justice. He ain't about giving you anything. He took it away from you. He is your enemy. And you jakes out there are just trying to get everything, you're going to get justice from Esau. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. And right now, that happened to the southern kingdom in slavery, and right now it's happening to the northern kingdom right before our eyes. Is not the northern kingdom being separated from their families right now, and there's no might in their hands to get them back? I mean, it's happening right now. Esau haven't even changed. For all of you that think there's one good Edomite out there, These devils have not changed. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed always. And I'm going to jump down to the 46th verse. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And there it is right there, man. They shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. All these curses is upon you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, so-called Indians, so-called Latinos. It's upon you for a sign. What is the sign? That you are the children of Israel, according to the Bible, from your respective tribes. And that's why you're going through what you're going through. Yet you're still trying to find justice from Esau, instead of seeking after your God, which is the God of the Bible, the one true power in the universe, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I got a couple more articles that I wanted to read, just like this is a PDF from the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, A History in Ancient Black Races. And it's on the 84th page, about halfway down. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in 70 AD. General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Now, this is from the time of 70 AD. Over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. So we were in Africa for over 1,500 years. We had our wars with them. We basically scattered amongst the continent of what is known as Africa today. Mainly, we lived in the interiors of the western coast of Africa. The Ghana region, Nigeria, Senegal. All around the western coast of Africa. And that's pretty much where the majority of our people settled, though we had so many conflicts with the Hamites on the continent known as Africa today. That's why there are so many Israelites over in Africa today, and not all of the so-called blacks in Africa are Israelites. There's a lot of them, especially on the western coast. The majority of them are actually Israelites, but not everybody, not every dark-skinned person on the continent of Africa are Israelites, But a lot of them, especially on the western coast, are. That's another video for another time. Elder Apostle Tahar is always bringing out those videos, Yeah. But, my point here is that even in this book, the historian William R. Windsor, matter of fact, see if I can show a picture of him. Yeah, the historian Rudolph Windsor, He did this in, 1984? And this is a good read, and it's free online, in PDF form, man. So you can read this book, and it has a lot of information in it, as far as the black Hebrews, so to speak, because really the Israelites are dark-skinned people for the majority, And then, of course, I found this article, Can You Compare African Slave Trade to the Holocaust? Of course, because the real Holocaust was the slave trade. And a matter of fact, I'll start from the first paragraph. It says, the man refused to eat. He had been sick, reduced to a mere skeleton. He had apparently made a decision to die. Captain Timothy Tucker was outraged and probably fearful that his example might spread to the other 200 plus captives aboard his ship, the Loyal George, as it made its way across the Atlantic Barbados in the year 1727. The captain turned to his black cabin boy, Robin, and commanded him to fetch him a whip. This was no cat o' nine tails, but rather something much bigger, a horsewhip. All the while, the man made no resistance and said nothing, which incensed the captain, who now threatened him in his own language he would tickaroo him, that is, kill him. To which the man answered, Aman, so be it. It says Adama, but Aman is so be it in the Hebrew. This is not the only nor the most horrific description in the book, The Slave Ship, A Human History, by the American historian Marcus Rediker, originally published in 2007 and available in Hebrew translation. The book recounts the history of the modern slave ship from the moment the first captives boarded it on the coast of Africa, 12.4 million souls from the 15th to the 19th century, until the last of them embarked on the shores of the New World. No fewer than 1.8 million of them died during the journey. Their bodies were thrown to the sharks that trailed the ships across the sea. The 10.6 million who had made it to the other side became slaves on plantations of the American South and Caribbean. So, basically the slave trade had this article basically recounts, the historian Marcus Rediker, and he basically did a history on the slave ships rather than the plantations of America, and recounted some of the horrors that Esau put us through on the slave ships. And by the Edomites on the slave ships, by the way, just so you know, mainly the Edomites on the slave ships are what they call Jewish today. They were the owners of those slave ships, and they did those atrocities to us Jakes, man. Not to mention, to this day, they try to steal our identity. To this day, man. So, you devils got a lot to pay for, but this is to let you herd mentality Israelites wake up, man. Get out of that plantation Christianity herd mentality. It's high time to wake out of sleep, as the scriptures say. And this is the last scripture. This is Isaiah 59:4, getting right to the point. None calleth for justice, nor pleadeth for the truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. And that's you Jakes, man. You ain't calling for justice or the truth, because the only one to call for justice and the truth to is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Most High, through his Son, your God, man, your power. And with that, I think that point was made. And I hope you, Akim, that watched this video were edified. Until the next time, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, doing the work in truth and sincerity. Shalom.